Hello and welcome Mr. Wiley Teaches Math. Today we're going to be looking at area of composite figures. So in the past we've looked at squares and rectangles and found out the formula for those is to find the length and the width and multiply them together. We've done the same for parallelograms. We said find the base and the height and multiply those together to find the area. For triangles it was very similar, base times height, but we only wanted half of it, so we divided by 2. And for a circle we found that was pi times the radius, or pi r squared. So when we're working with composite figures, it just means there's some of these shapes that have been put together, joined together. So I'm going to look at my first shape and think about how I could divide it up, and there's probably multiple ways to do this. But when I look at it, I see what something looks like a parallelogram down here, and I think that'll form a triangle out here. So if I just sketch in this extra line, now I can see my parallelogram and a triangle. And I think I have a base and a height, a base and a height. I should be able to calculate this. So let's call this area 1 and call this area 2, and let's calculate the total area between the two. Alright, so for area 1 is a parallelogram, so it's base times height. So area 1, the base is 5 centimeters, and the height is 1.8 centimeters. 18 times 5 is 90, so that's going to be 9 centimeters squared. So my first area is 9 centimeters squared, and that covers this section. Now I'm going to look at area 2. Area 2 is a triangle, so it's base times height divided by 2. So area 2, my base is 4 centimeters, my height is 1.2 centimeters, and I'm going to divide my answer in half. Alright, so area 2, 1.2 times 4 is 4.8 centimeters squared, and I have to divide that in half. Area 2 is equal to 2.4 centimeters squared. And when we talk about that, we're talking about this section of my diagram. I want the area of the composite figure, so I want to find the total area. So total area is equal to area 1 plus area 2. Area 1 I said was 9 centimeters squared. Area 2 is 2.4 centimeters squared. Add those up, I get 11.4 centimeters squared, which is now the entire shape, all of it, together being 11.4 centimeters squared. Alright, we've also worked with circles and rectangles and squares. So I have a rectangle and I have a circle. Let's go through and try to calculate this. Maybe we're going to try calling this the circle as area 1 and the rectangle as area 2. I notice I have the diameter, which is 5 centimeters. I know that my formula works only for radius, which is half of my diameter, or 2.5 centimeters. So that's my half distance, my radius. So for area 1, it's a circle, so it's pi times radius times radius. So pi is 3.14. I just said my radius is 2.5 centimeters times 2.5 centimeters. Pretty sure 25 times 25 is 625. So it's going to be 3.14 times 6.25 centimeters squared. 6.25 times 3.14. I have to do that off to the side. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 2 is 8. Plus 2 is 10. 4 times 6 is 24. 25. 0, 5, 2, 6. Double 0. 3 times 5 is 5. 3 times 2 is 6. 7. 3 times 6 is 18. Add them all up. 14 plus 2 is 16, and with 4 decimal places, 1, 2, 3, 4, I get 19.625. 19.625 centimeters squared. Alright, so that's the area of my circle, 19.625. Now I need to find the area of my rectangle, area 2. Area 2 is equal to length times width. Length, which is normally the longer side, 7 centimeters times 6 centimeters. So 7 times 6 is the same as 6 times 7. 7 times 6 is 42 centimeters squared. So the area of my entire square, including the circle, is 42 centimeters, and the circle itself is 19.62. If I want to find the area of the shaded region only, this area around the circle, I'm going to have to take my total area, 42 centimeters squared, and subtract the area of the circle, 19.625. In other words, we have to set that up on the outside, 42.000 and 19.625. 5 from 0 doesn't work. So we're just going to have to go through, borrow them out. All right, 5 from 10 is 5. 2 from, no, 9 is 7. 6 from 9 is 3. 22 times 22.375. So the area of just the shaded region, shaded only, is 22.375 centimeters squared. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check the class website for additional notes, examples, and assignments.